Governor Walker, welcome to the Register Soapbox.
Thanks, good morning. And fight for the American people. I am not intimidated by you, sir, or anyone else out there. I will fight for the American people over and over and over and over again. You want someone who's tested? I'm right here. You can see it.
Hey, Governor, how are you? So you're kind of America's reigning champion of being heckled. I'm just wondering how you felt about that, what you think happened, how you felt about it.
That's nothing compared to 100,000. We've literally had events interrupted time and time again over the last few years, and this is nothing compared to that. I think when people are looking for a fighter, you know, people can say what they want, but this is a test to show when the chips are down. I've showed time and time again that I can take on the big battles, and if I'm elected president, it's exactly what I'll do.
If you're elected president, will this kind of stuff keep happening, or do you think over time you'll sort of calm the nation?
Same thing happened in Wisconsin. I think the same thing happened there, that it calmed down. You saw it big with 100,000. You barely see any. Instead, they get orchestrated to come to places like this. But in the end, I think we can bring the country together. But I think what people want more than ever is they want someone who's willing to take on the machine in Washington, even when it includes your own party. I've done that. I took on not just the unions. I took on not just the protesters, not just the Democrats. I took on the establishment of my own party to get things done.
You weren't phased at all?
No, I'm used to this. It's old school to me. 4 years ago when Paul Ryan came here after he was announced, I told forewarned Paul a little bit about what to expect, having gone through them.
Last question, are corporations people too?
I think you saw the real people out there, and they're standing right out there, and we're glad they're here in Iowa.
So there's this whole meme now that's developed, Scott Walker's not exciting enough. What do you think of that?
No, hopefully we took care of that today.
You didn't generate the excitement, though. You just were the recipient.
See, the kicker is if you show that your actions speak louder than words, I mean, that's in the end. People say they want some dynamic. What we'll get is dynamic action, and you saw that there. When you push dynamic reforms, you get excitement. It may not come in your words, but more importantly in your deeds.
How would you characterize your personal style as a leader?
Well, I just get it done. I think it's very Midwestern in the sense that we don't mess around. We just do what we say we're going to do.
Governor, with all due respect, you've been asked this a couple times. So just if you could address it clearly, children who were born here to parents who are here illegally, should they be deported?
Well, I've talked about how going forward, I believe we should change the rules, the law, but I think in terms of deporting, the best thing we can do is enforce the law. If we enforce the law and require employers across America to uphold the law, which means an effective E-Verify system, I think that that ultimately puts us in a good place.
You're still not addressing it, though. You may say you don't want to address it, but should children who are here, born and are currently citizens, the current law would be they can stay.
Well, I've said in terms of what we should do is enforce the law. If we enforce the law, we're not going to have that problem going forward. A lot of people in the media here and elsewhere want to talk about several steps down the way, but until we secure the border and start enforcing the laws, we can't talk about it.
It's not just the media. The Iowa frontrunner has proposed it.
Well, I think from our standpoint, the bottom line is American people won't support, they don't trust politicians in Washington to talk about things they'll do several steps down the line until they actually can secure the border and enforce the laws of this country. When we do that, we can talk about what the next steps after that. I'll let Donald Trump and the others talk about their specifics. We've laid out plans there. We're going to lay out more tomorrow about how we plan on repealing Obamacare, which I still think is one of the #1 issues in the campaign.
What about people who say you're not a Southern candidate, and when it goes to the SEC primary, you won't be able to compete there?
I think I can. When people, I think they want the same thing. I think people are tired of Washington. I'm about as anti-Washington as you can get.
Are you beholden at all to the people who give you money? Some of the other candidates are saying that.
No, I mean, I had over 300,000 people give me money in the recall election, and something like 70% of them are people who gave me $75 or less. So I'm beholden to the hardworking taxpayers.
This issue of your principled view about no exceptions for rape or incest victims for abortion.
I think the bottom line is I'm a pro-life governor, been a pro-life lawmaker, pro-life my whole life. And the people in Wisconsin, the swing state, elected me 3 times in 4 years because I know the things I honed in on were things like defunding Planned Parenthood and legislation that was fairly focused in nature.
So you don't think opposition to those exceptions for rape and incest, you don't think that's political liability?
No, I think in the end, again, that's the reason why I won is people know what I focus in on, what I do, what my record's been, and they've elected me 3 times in one of those key battleground states that don't elect president.
Are you ever going to eat anything?
I said the worst part is Congressman Young actually had a pork chop on a stick. He was eating while I was there. I'm like, oh, come on. But that's where we're headed, is go get a pork chop.
The pork producer. Are you going to cook? Or are you going to be on the grill? How do you grill at home?
I do pretty good. I'm usually a rib guy. I met my wife at Saz.
Pork ribs? What kind of ribs?
Pork ribs for sure. You want them nice and tender so they come off the bone. I slap plenty of Saz's barbecue sauce on. It's a lot of fun.
You daydream while you grill or listen to music? What do you do?
No, I sit out there. Usually if we're in the back, we've got a lake out there, so it's fun to watch people on the lake nearby.
It's a pretty good life if you want to give all that up.
Yeah, right. I said we live in a nice house, but yeah, the White House doesn't have a lake like that.
Did you have one?
So I should have worn shorts like you today.
You have not had one since you've been here?
No, I had one. I had one with Mr. Trump. To tell you the truth.
Oh, sorry about that.
He had 2 boxes of them.
So that's it.
He can
Now I know how
afford
all the good press is. You just got to feed you guys, right?
2 boxes. You know, you ever heard the expression "bring enough for everyone"? Yeah. Can we talk about the division of labor of household chores in the Walker household? Who does what?
Who does what?
She does almost everything, and I occasionally grill. That's about. I grill, I eat, maybe I clean up occasionally.
Although I remind him that he still has to take the garbage out.
Like, what if it's 10 at night and the garbage needs to go out? What do you do? If it's 10 at night and the garbage needs to go out, what do you do?
I take it out. Even if it's late in the back, she actually oftentimes she'll say, "This stuff stinks. You need to take it out." It's nice now our boys.
Cutting the grass. Those are not women's jobs.
Not at least yours.
Snow shoveling. That's your job.
You got shoveling, garbage, grass.
Yes, yeah. He's not a grocery shopper. I've had friends whose husbands grocery shopped and cooked. He used to say that. I said, if anything happens to me, what are the boys going to eat? He said, frozen pizza.
And we'd eat them all the time. We'd be fine with that.
I want to clarify something because the Democrats are making a big deal about something you said earlier today about whether your plan, you said Mr. Trump's plan, is similar to your plan on immigration on Fox. So when you said his plan was similar to yours, what did you mean?
Well, I just mean that we talked about months ago when I was on with Chris Wallace on Fox News Sunday. I said we should secure the border, enforce the law. I said then I didn't believe in amnesty. I talked about how I had changed from statements I made over the year at that time, and that we should ultimately go forward with a legal immigration system that puts priority on American working families.
Is there anything you know about his plan that makes it different than your principles?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure there's details in there. I haven't gone through all the details in that, but I think those are the same sorts of principles we're talking about. Obviously, they're going to be different components in everybody's plan.
And last quick question. Who's the front runner in Iowa now?
Again, it's we've said all along that this is going to be a long-term race. So the most important time to be ahead in Iowa is on the day of the caucus.
So is Trump the front runner because he's ahead?
Well, that's what a poll or two says. We'll see in the end. The most important poll is on caucus day.
Governor, how about a summary of your day at the fair?
It's been fun. I mean, I got a beer and a pork chop. Nothing gets better than that. And I think we showed people that if they're looking for someone who's up to the fight, the soapbox, we showed it pretty well.
You'd never been to this fair before, right?
No, as a kid, we went to our county fair, but we never made it there. It wasn't until later when I was older in Wisconsin we went to the state fair.
So how was this experience compared to what the staff briefed you on?
You know, it's actually, other than the soapbox, it's almost identical to the Wisconsin State Fair. So a lot of similarities, a lot of fun. People are looking to have a good time. People are basically decent in states like this.
If you're the nominee, will you come back next year?
Absolutely. To me, it's the caucuses are important, but so is the November election. I think Iowa, as I've said, Iowa and the Midwest are key to winning.
Des Moines Register might lead with that tomorrow. Walker promises to come to the 2016 fair.
It'd be fun. It'd be a great time. I bet you we get a good crowd.